Being a one-named rock star has been good business for Bono, Sting, Flea, and, Cher. So why not a bald-headed, wraparound, sunglasses-wearing guy named Fly? Now, I don't know much about this man, whose name reminds me mostly of a 1986 David Cronenberg movie starring Jeff Goldblum, and his bio is just a couple of very unrevealing sentences. Fly is the lead singer of a band called Underground, which has a new CD out called Chasing the Future that you can find on cdbaby.com. Who else is in the band? I couldn't tell you. But I like Fly's music and figured we could fill in the gaps around a few songs. So Fly, welcome to Mr. Media. Fly? Okay. Fly, welcome to Mr. Media. Fly? Hello, Fly. Here, Fly. Wow, that doesn't happen very often. He hung up. Well, here I am with nobody. Well, maybe we'll just hang up and start over again. Okay, let's try again. Fly. Fly, are you there?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes. I guess we had a technical problem the first time?
Yeah, I did. I was on hold for just a couple minutes, and I heard everything you said, but unfortunately, I guess you didn't hear me.
No, I didn't. I'm very sorry for the
No worries.
For the problem.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I thought maybe it was something. I thought it was maybe the bald-headed comment. Maybe you decided to hang up.
No, you can't get me that easy.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm bald, so I just feel like it's a sign of respect. So who knows? So, Fly, what is with all the apparent secrecy over your background? I actually contacted your management after they sent me what they purported to be a bio and said, no, really, where's the information about the guy? And they said, no, that's it. And I said, oh, come on. So, I mean, are you a mystery guy?
Well, personally, I am a bit of a mystery, in fact. And with respects to, this music project, I've personally always been attracted to mystery. I mean, even when I was young and you grew up with artists like The Police and U2 and all these bands, they created a sense of mystery which enticed people to want to know more, and it's kind of the idea of, if you give everything straight out front, I believe that, people get bored easy. And so the idea is to create a sense of mystery to entice people to want to know more, to want to listen more, and to not become boring.
So it's not that you're an illegal alien?
Although I'm an alien. Illegal, I don't know. Well, tell us something about you. Where are you from? Where did you grow up? I'm actually from Los Angeles, and but I don't consider myself, a true Angelino, I guess, what we're called. Just because I've had the opportunities through music to travel all over the world, and I'm more of a worldly person, and I get inspired by so many different cultures, and which is quite beautiful. So I'm more of a people of the world, more so than I am just someone from one dedicated place. All right. And so, I mean, you want to be called Fly. What does your family call you? Well, that's something that I'm not ready to relinquish quite yet. But I will say that Fly actually comes from friends of mine for years, in fact, because it's a nickname. I'm a really shy, I'm a timid person, and anytime you see me in a place, like when I'm out and about with friends of mine, going to different soirees and such, I'm pretty quiet and will kind of just stand aside on the wall and just kind of watch things. And friends of mine have always joked, and oh, you're like a fly on the wall, never just never really interact, and so that just kind of stuck. And that's where that's derived from.
All right. They couldn't have called you Shy. They had to go with Fly.
Had to go with Fly. Shy is just not that cool sounding, I guess.
Well, listen, someone is calling in. I'm hoping it's for you, but the way the phones have been, I don't know what to expect. Let's take a crack at it. And hi, do you have a comment or question for Fly? 303. That's you. Hello. All right, it's going to be that kind of day, Fly. All right, well, let's do this. Let's go in a different direction. I mean, the main reason that I invited you on the show is because your music, I mean, it really rocks. I enjoyed it. So why don't we do this? Let's listen to the song Hello, and then maybe you can tell us a little bit after. All right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
All right. This is Fly singing Hello with the band Underground. Listen. All right, that is Hello, sung by Fly from the band Underground. You can order that on cdbaby.com. It's from the album Chasing the Future. And, you know, frankly, I don't really care if I know anything about the guy or the band or not. You hear something like that, that's all you want to know. The music is good. You know, what else do we need to know, right?
That's quite a compliment. I sincerely appreciate that, Bob. That song, actually, lyrically speaking, it was one of those. You know, it's interesting when I go to put pen to paper. I never really you know what you're about to write about, but you never really know what it is until you're finished with it, and you kind of go back and read it over and go, oh, that's what that's about. And when I first started writing that song, lyrically speaking, it was about, I think that we all can attest to, looking at ourselves in the mirror and sometimes being unrecognizable to yourself and constantly trying to find out who you are today, where you want to be tomorrow, and where you've been. Mm-hmm. And that's where it started. However, it kind of took an interesting turn to more of a deeper side of things in terms of there's someone who's very close to me, and unfortunately her father was stricken with Alzheimer's. And so it just so happened, in kind of seeing how that has affected someone, it's extremely painful. And so lyrically speaking, the song just started going down that road. I just took it a step further, but I still wrote it in a way that people really wouldn't know that, where they can, somehow, strap the story to themselves as opposed to, the deeper meaning of it. So it's kind of it's a double story there, actually.
It's got the sound. It's kind of a smoldering thing. It's like a real slow build. It's like, you keep expecting it's going to explode on you, but it just keeps building and building. It's just it's a real compelling, sound.
Yeah, thanks. I think that's, I try to do that with all the music in terms of, it's kind of the basics of songwriting in terms of, starting from, point A and just building and building to where it can become epic and not overshooting your boundary too soon. Again, it's, going back to the mystery idea, it's that same idea. It's trying to take people on a ride and make it interesting the further you go into the song and just kind of take people on a roller coaster ride, essentially.
So what bands, what singers are you particularly fond of? Would you like to, I don't mean copy, but we look for, a little emulation in our heroes.
Oh yeah, well, it's funny. I was really blessed with working with, 4-time Grammy-winning producer-engineer by the name of Bonsai Caruso. And he's worked with everybody from, Madonna, Lenny Kravitz, Mary J. Blige, to everybody you think of. Any big name you can think of, he's been there. And, we were introduced a long time ago through a mutual friend, and it finally just happened to where it made the most sense where we started to work together. And in doing so, we started going in the studio, writing these songs, and it was very methodical in terms of we knew exactly what direction we were headed. It was like, okay, let's head down the mainstream alternative rock, which is what I love. It's what I grew up on in terms of bands like The Cure, The Police, U2, Duran Duran, Psychedelic Furs, all those guys. Peter Gabriel. And so we were laughing in the studio because I said, wow, we got to be careful that this isn't too much like, I don't want to go down, I don't want to be the, U2 or Coldplay. It's not what I'm trying to do here. I said, you got to somehow try to maintain some originality somewhere. And he said, well, the reality is your voice is so unique. You can't really strap those other bands onto you. Even though you would gain the same audience, you still have your own individuality. But we would laugh in the studio because we always would say, well, Coldplay did this, so maybe we could try this little angle here. And so we said, well, let's just we're going to start our little production company called V3 Hotworks, which is like opposite U2 Coldplay kind of thing. And, so we just kind of laughed about that but I think we developed something quite amazing. I'm very proud of it, and I think that the people, the fans so far have just been so positive, and that's what it's about, creating this great energy and music that people love, and taking it as far as you can go.
So how do you actually write a song? Do you play guitar or piano, or do you just write lyrics onto paper? Or?
I play actually a bit of everything. This project is almost like you can, parallel to like a Trent Reznor of Nine Inch Nails, or Robert Smith of The Cure. Those guys are the forefront of those projects. And as far as the band, I was listening to your introduction. You said, "Well, I know who Flea is of Underground, but I don't know who the band is." The band actually consists of guys I've known for years, some great session players that play with a lot of famous artists as well. But they've lent their help, and they're the ones who perform live with me and so forth. So I don't really call it like a band democracy type idea. Underground is more of a project, and the way I write songs is, it depends. There's no method to the madness for me. There's, inspiration hits me at different times, obviously, like any other artist will tell you. Sometimes I'll just sit down and be strumming the guitar, and I'll think it's, some good changes, and I'll record, just kind of record them on my BlackBerry, of all things, if that's what's around me. And then I'll revisit it and go back and figure out a melody that might work around that. I listen to a lot of chill music. In fact, love ambient chill music, especially without vocal. And so sometimes, I'll just be sitting around doing my thing, and I'll hear some chill music and a melody. I might start singing, humming my own melody that just kind of goes with the track, something I've heard. And then I'll take that melody and go back and go, I need to write a new chord progression to it. And then I'll start that way. And then I just start layering pieces in the studio. Sometimes I have the guys come in and play, and sometimes I don't.
Well, so why even call it a band? Why not just go out as Flea? Why even use the name Underground when it doesn't really define any group of players or musicians?
It does, though, in terms of it's always the same players that are playing with me, even though they have other projects that they work on or are part of. But having Underground, I think I love the idea of a band, to be honest with you, and something like, and people, fans, listeners, they enjoy being a part of something like that. More so sometimes, I believe, than just a solo artist. For instance, you have, if Bono went on his own, yeah, there'll be a ton of people that follow him, but it's not the same way that people follow U2. And I like that. I like that kind of a club idea, and people acknowledge, being a part of something, not just someone. And for me, Underground and the music itself, I want to be at the forefront of Flea, of who I am. To me, ultimately, it's about the music, and I want the music to speak more so than I do.
Okay,
and
that's fair enough.
Yeah, the project's important for me for that reason alone, actually.
Well, let's squeeze another song in here. This is also from Underground's Chasing the Future. This is Flea singing, and I suspect writing the song. This is All That I Want. All right. That's Fly singing lead. All That I Want from Underground. It's on the Chasing the Future album. Anything you want to tell us about that song?
Yeah, that song. Well, this song was actually lyrically kind of the catalyst for the whole record title, "Chasing the Future" and such. And the overall theme of the record is actually about, going after your goals in life, your dreams and ambitions, and never stopping that, whatever that may be for you. And so it's a very positive record through and through in terms of just chase the future, go after everything that you want in life. I believe that's ultimately what creates happiness. When you love what you do, that's, in my opinion, true happiness, and the money comes, kind of idea, if it all works out that way. But this song just happens to be, it's funny you're playing Hello and All That I Want, because those are my two favorite songs on the record, actually. And this one, we're actually just in the middle of creating a music video for it that's an Avatar animation music video, and it's just coming out amazing. I'm extremely excited about it, in fact, and that's going to be finished up in the next couple of weeks. And with all that in mind, with chasing the future in general and kind of creating positive outlook on things, I'm a part of a cancer organization called Life Second Chance. And they had the founder of this organization named Wasene Bowler. She's a Ethiopian woman who lives in California. She was a leukemia survivor and started this organization quite a few years ago to build this a new cancer and research center in Ethiopia. So she came to me just a couple of years ago and introduced herself, oddly enough, via MySpace. And in looking over her story, I was just completely amazed by this woman's survival history and how she got through all this. And I actually had cancer back in 1998, completely recovered. And so it's something that's really important to me. So they had flown me out to Ethiopia a couple of years ago, actually not even that long ago, a year and a half ago or so, to perform at the UN and to discuss, the cancer, issue in Ethiopia. And, I met with a bunch of different dignitaries and ambassadors throughout different countries that represent different countries. And my mother had just passed away not more than a couple of weeks before I'd flown out to Ethiopia for this. So this whole CD for me, and what we're about to do is launch this very positive campaign called the Underground Revolution. And the Underground Revolution is basically designed to, continue to create awareness and such important global issues, whether it's from, the fight against cancer, the fight against, world hunger, the fight against AIDS, the fight against racism. It's kind of like the Underground Revolution is the fight, to fight the good fight type idea. And so we're about to put on a series of concerts called the Let's Live concert series to benefit, Life Second Chance Foundation. And in fact, we're going to have our first show in July at the John Anson Ford Theater in Los Angeles. And there'll be a number of, special guests that'll be on the bill. And it's to benefit this great cause. So I'm at that point right now with musically speaking as well, that I'm just all about the positive energy and pushing forward through all the muck that it seems that we've been going through for a while. And, I'm not trying to do this on my own. It's like the idea of jumping on board with other, great people out there that are part of a better social revolution and moving forward. So it's an important time for me right now. It's an important time for Underground. It's an important time for people.
Well, I'm glad you brought it up. I had it right in front of me here to mention. And let's tell people they can get involved and learn more about the Life Second Chance Foundation at www.lifes, that's LIFES, secondchance.org, O-R-G. So it's all solid, lifesecondchance.org. And if you miss it on the radio, we'll have it on the website, mrmedia.com, or wherever you listen to Mr. Media, to check out. So I was going to ask you, we're just about out of time, but I was going to ask you, so there will be some concerts coming up. People have a chance to see you an Underground live?
Absolutely, yeah. There'll be a series of concerts that we're right in the middle of putting together, in fact. And there'll be as far as Underground is concerned, there'll be specialized Underground merchandise that will be launched here shortly. And basically, when you buy something, you can choose out of the, let's say it's between 5 major organizations. People can choose which organization they would like proceeds to go to. Essentially. So, we want to give people options because everybody has a special organization that they're part of.
Absolutely. So, folks, listen, you can order Underground's new album that's featuring Fly. It's called Chasing the Future. It's available on cdbaby.com, and you can find Fly and Underground online at their official website, which is www.undergrounds, that's with an S, undergroundsmusic.com. Or they're on MySpace, myspace.com/underground, INET. I can't even say that. Underground, INET. You can find that. And then they're also on Twitter, which is twitter.com/ and then underground. And, of course, let's just give that URL one more time. For Life's Second Chance Foundation, that's life'ssecondchance.org. Fly, I really like the music, really enjoyed talking to you, and I hope you'll come back when there's more and more to talk about and play.
Thanks, Bob. Really appreciate the opportunity.
My pleasure. Best of luck to you.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right. Bye-bye. And, folks, for more interviews with up-and-coming musicians, you can surf over to our main website, www.mrmedia.com. That's where you can listen to my earlier conversations with Adam Falcon, Green Children, King Straggler, and many more. And please take advantage of this great offer for Mr. Media radio listeners. Go to www.audiblepodcast.com/mrmedia to get a free audiobook download of your choice when you sign up today. There are 75,000 titles to choose from. Again, that's www.audiblepodcast.com/mrmedia for your free audiobook. And subscribe to Mr. Media on iTunes, and you'll never miss a show. Just search Mr. Media Interviews from within iTunes and subscribe for free. You can also listen with a piece of string and a tin can in many locations. If you've got an idea for a guest, email me directly at bob@andelman.com. You can also follow me on Facebook or on Twitter, www.twitter.com/Andelman or facebook.com/Andelman. Thanks so much for joining us today. Always appreciate when you give up a little piece of your day to spend it with us.